Hey guys, it's Justin back with Engineer's Perspective, and today I'm doing a full sharpening on this S110V PM2 that I borrowed from Prentice Goodwin, or Goodwin Prentice on Instagram. It's wearing those Flytanium titanium scales there. You can see some muck on the blade. It's been used. I just best tested it, and it's hitting between like 290 and like 350 heel to tip depending. I can see on the tip pretty much from here up as there's a little bit of blunting going on. So I was surprised actually to see that to that degree. It's not super bad blunting, but you can see it. Back at the heel it's sharper because, well, I don't use that part that much. Let's do a little bit of paper cut. Actually, let's clean it up first, and then we'll do some paper cutting just so you can kind of visualize where the edge is at. This is probably going to be a longer one today. Not because S110V takes super long to sharpen. This is just acetone. But because I want to take my time with this knife that's been borrowed. I want to make sure I even out the bevels on it. It smelled like acetone in here this whole time. So there you go. Clean that up a little bit. You can see this side on the right, I've actually got a teeny bit lower than this side on the left. Wouldn't bother me with my own knives, and sometimes I correct that and sometimes I don't. But on this one I will. So I'll just kind of go through that process of me correcting that, and I use these little angle guides for that, doing it by hand. I'm gonna try to match the right side, which is the lower. I was shooting for 17 degrees per side when I did it by hand. So I've got these little angle guides. I've got 16, 17, and 18. Hoping one of those ones will match. I'm actually not gonna start there. I'm gonna start on the 800 F stone just to confirm that angle. Doing the Sharpie trick, so no smoke and mirrors or anything. Paper cut. So you can see the heel, the back part of the blade. Oh, okay, well, the back part of the blade catches paper okay, but the front, you know, is having a much harder time. But it can almost grab, but it's getting pretty far gone. Okay, now we're gonna take the Sharpie in. The edge, this might take a couple times. We'll start on the low end, 16 degrees. There's my towel. All right. We're just gonna see if that's enough to remove the Sharpie. Oh, too low. Now on to 17 degrees, which is where I was shooting for, but just by eye. Looks too low still, actually. 18. My goal was to not reprofile the knife. I was just trying to match what I was given, and I didn't want to thicken it up a whole bunch or anything. My guess was that it was around 17, but even 18, it's about 18. You can see my perfect imperfections especially right towards the heel here, how I've removed all of the Sharpie in some places and not in others. So kind of speaks to my level of skill, but also kind of just in freehand sharpening, get a little bit of inconsistencies. So 18 degrees per side, that's what we're gonna run with there. So just using that one to establish what angle we're actually at. And I'll just kind of be checking in with the angle guide very frequently as I go to kind of maintain. I just realized I forgot to grab masking tape for this guy. So I'm actually gonna cut the video really quick and I'll be back via the magic of editing. And we're back. Now with the knife wrapped up, protected, got the 400F super vitrified diamond stone here. Lots and lots of sharpening on this thing. Still not loaded up. So still cutting like a champ. This isn't the first time these two have met. Oh, frick. Need a flat spot to reference the angle guide against. I'm just kind of peeling back the top of the tape here. And I normally don't use this, but if I'm looking for a precise angle, while I'm hand sharpening, this is what I do. Sometimes if I'm doing big reprofiles, I'll do this just to make sure I'm heading in the right direction. So, anywho. All right, let's get after it. Like I said, I'm gonna be taking my time. And this right side should go pretty quick. Because we're kind of matching that angle. Just working out a few kinks in the edge here and there. So actually the edge that I put on this was done very quickly in a bathroom at my mother-in-law's house. I just kind of took the liberty of taking some extra time in there and whipped an edge on this because the knife was new to me and the stone was new to me, and I just wanted to know what they did. So sharpening S110V experience, it's not that crazy. I've only sharpened it with diamonds, so I guess keep that in mind. But it doesn't really feel that different from S30V, and I think I've heard that kind of echoed by Tom Hosang Outdoors and Outpost 76. Where, yeah, it's not this big scary monster that everybody makes it out to be. Now we'll do a video, kind of a S110V overview sort of a thing, where I really talk about its characteristics, because there's definitely things to talk about. But I'll say this much, is I'd choose it over S30V any day of the week here. Try to get parallel up to that plunge grind. Got a burr. Having us a little wind and rainstorm up here where I live. Looking like it's probably going to turn into snow here shortly. But still a cozy 62 degrees here in my garage, so not too worried. Though my hands could have better feeling in them. But alas, work with what you got. There's actually one particular bad spot on this knife, kind of up here on this left side, where it came in way steeper. Even all that out. You know, and when you do this too, it's a good way to kind of check yourself. Because I kind of know what, 11-ish degrees feels and looks like, 15-ish and like 17-ish and 20-ish. I feel pretty relatively confident between those. But it's good to check yourself on occasion. So these are a good way to do that and kind of recalibrate. So yeah, this stuff does not feel super hard on the stones at all. Granted, nothing feels hard on this stone, but it's pretty chill overall if you have diamond abrasives. And on that note, in use, hands down, I would choose this over S30V. Really significant upgrade over S30V for sure. Just wipe that off. I'm actually gonna flip this stone around. Well, I already did the whole sharpening on the one side. Whatever, we'll roll with it this way. Yeah, and the reason why is it doesn't seem to hold on to that front end sharpness a whole heck of a lot longer. But these high vanadium steels like this, man, they develop that working edge plus is what I call it. And that's when those vanadium carbide teeth come out and they just cut and cut and cut. And not only that, but they do it better than like a chromium carbide steel, it seems. For whatever reason, be it that they're harder, be it that they're smaller than chromium carbides, is they just feel so much finer and will do tasks. It's just so much better than chromium carbides. Because when a pure chromium carbide steel breaks down to its working edge, for me, I'm just kind of like, I would rather resharpen it, honestly. Not all the time, but a lot of the time. It's just kind of meh for me. With these high vanadium steels, high vanadium carbide steels, especially the hard ones, like K390, when they start breaking down, like I'm not really in any rush. Get the heel good. Get that area good. We will be speeding up after this. I don't know how long this video's gone on for. Plenty, probably almost 20 minutes. Got a burr over most of it. keep going a little bit. You know, it's not like sharpening VG10 on this stone, which VG10 or CTS BD1N or X50CR MOV15. I've sharpened all of those on this steel, and those things are like apex in one pass. But yeah, no, it's not giving me any trouble really. Especially considering I'm reprofiling this S110V on this left side here. Just want to really make sure I actually form that burr. Certainly feels like I have. It looks pretty good over there. You won't be deburring on this stone. I'm gonna do the full progression on this baby just because I want to see if I can get it to that sharp level. I should have mentioned you guys should probably start playing a movie or something in the background. This isn't the most entertaining sharpening video. Oops, just bumped my vise. Whenever I do this or even use the KME, personally, I find that very few factory knives are actually ground symmetrically. I don't know what your guys' experiences are, but very rarely do I get a perfectly symmetrical knife. So do I trust my sharpening on the KME or on this? Or do I trust the manufacturer that they're actually symmetrical and I'm off? I don't know, but I certainly feel like I've come across asymmetric grinds. Okay, let's do just a few more on the left side, and then I think we're going to be ready to move on here. Just making sure it's really well apexed here. I did the full this stone and Venev progression on Maximate the other day because I wanted to, and actually, I do have a video of that. I don't know if I'll post it though. And it went a lot faster than this. So that just kind of goes to show me taking my time here. Okay. Feel good about that. Okay. All right. Thank you, Angle Guide. We are through with you. Thank you, Awesome Stone. We're through with you. So 400F there, slightly glazed up. I'm actually going to change out this tape because it's got a big old glop of diamond residue in there. So I'll pause it and we'll come back once I've changed that out. All right, we're back with clean tape. 400F, Venev stone. This another wipey wipe here. Let's do it. We did the hard work, so the rest of this should go quite a bit faster. Trying to get right up to that plunge grind there. It's never easy on these PM2s, which is why I usually put a sharpening choil into most of my knives, so I don't have to get right up to there to make the magic happen. Ready to go to the other side. For me, it's really easy to go slightly too thin of an angle on this stone. So I sharpen this to 18 degrees per side. It's really easy for me to accidentally go down to like 17. That's because it's a little bit tricky to keep track of the apex on these because of the not great feedback. It's there a little bit, but it's not fantastic or anything. Definitely have an easier time on, say, like the King Neo or the Choceras or something. Or that Triple B stone, for that matter, the Super Vitrified. You know, and I don't usually sharpen for a finish, but I am slightly doing that, like aesthetically speaking. Doing that a little bit here today. So normally I'm just kind of a function over form kind of guy with my sharpening. It's about how sharp it gets and how it performs. But you can't always do that. Can't always. Gotta clean this up a touch back there as well. Alrighty. 800F. Excuse me. Keep hitting my dang vise. I'm not used, because normally I don't turn this knife so far over to get perpendicular. So my elbow's way out here. Gotta keep coming over. I think S110V is pretty famous for being unforgiving for large grit jumps, which is kind of what I like to do. I like to really push grit jumps to the max. That way you get minimum number of stones, minimum number of strokes involved, less time for a mistake to be made. Not much burr is getting generated at this point on the 800F. Onto the 1200F. Definitely can feel a burr, but it feels pretty small. Right, there we go. There's some decent audible feedback you can get on these stones every once in a while. They'll tell you when you're way off. So they'll start to scream at you, they'll get loud, kind of. The 1200F is definitely my least used stone out of the bunch. But it does give a nice little polish, and it is nice for edge leading strokes to finish on because it is so fine grit. Yeah, this right here though is why I would never professionally sharpen, at least not pocket knives. This is not my deal, sitting here spending all this time and being so careful, trying to get things closer to perfect. I'm certainly not a perfect sharpener. I'd say perfect is well above my skill level, but yeah, this is just way too much of a headache to care this much. I can't really feel a flipped burr on the right side where I should feel it, but I don't also feel it on the left side. I'm not trying to make a burr really, just really want to make sure that I'm apexing completely though on this stone here, especially on S110V. We're trying to see what we can do here. I feel pretty good about that. All right, deburring. Let's just start with that. Listen to what it's doing a little bit. I can hear it flipping back and forth. I can feel that it's flipping back and forth. Let's work in a few of these edge leading strokes now to actually cut that thing off. listening for audible crunchiness and feeling for kind of the crunch of the burr. It's kind of what I'm looking for. Very light pressure here. It's really easy to not get all the way down to the heel of the edge, so be conscious of that. Still's hanging on. These damn stainless steels. Edge leading passes to finish. Let's see what we got with the 3-finger test. Well, I'll tell you what, that is definitely a good feeling edge on the 3-finger test. Let me look through this microscope real quick. I'll throw a picture up too after the fact for you guys to look at this edge. Well, I'll tell you what, it looks pretty dang good. It's pretty dang good. Where is it? There it is. So I feel like there's a little bit of burr left out on the towards the tip, and the microscope confirms that. Very clean towards the back for whatever reason. So let's just try to clean up that tip if we can. I really like the feeling of the edge that came up on this though. So I'm glad I went through the effort and exercise, because this is miles ahead of the edge I got last time and the time before. This being my 3rd sharpening on S110V here. I'll do one more light pass actually. Feeling. Oh yeah, it's fine. It's super aggressive. Grabs into the fingernail. You know, actually that it's very aggressive and fine feeling on the fingertips, which is my favorite test of sharpness, is the 3-finger test. I also like to check on my fingernail how grabby it is, which kind of indicates how well apexed it is. And this is very good, but not perfect. Not where I would be normally looking for it to be. But let's just kind of check out that unstropped edge. Yeah. Keeping in, this is evidently not very sharp. Do I have a snag? No, I think it's just the paper getting all folded up on itself there. No, it's pretty clean. So let's just watch for the snag, if there is one. I'd say no. Let's see how sharp the tip is. That right there is a fantastic edge on this thing. Shave some hair off of my already bald arm, so that just takes the hair right off. I wouldn't expect a good best score just because these edges, when you do the edge leading passes, you never get a good best score. I'm gonna do some minimal stropping here. I just want to take the tape off so it has some of that grit on it. So this is a 2 to 3 micron stone here, the 1200F. So we're just going to go straight over to 1 micron strop on leather. Absolutely minimal strops here. Ooh, this took me a long time to do. Just cleaning it up a little bit. Light pressure. Light pressure. I'll tell you what, it looked really good under the microscope, so you know, I don't feel the need to strop it to clean up anything. Where's the edge? There's the edge. That is one great looking edge. Let's check out the other side. I'll post pictures of this. I always feel like even that amount of stropping, I think even forms a slight burr. I don't know when, why, or how, but I do feel like that forms the slightest of burrs. It's super sharp. It's like on Maximate. So from my experience, I'll give you a best test. I'm not expecting anything great. There's more to life than best scores, but they're good. Frick. I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, on Maximate. So normally, if I stropped 40 times on this thing, you would notice best scores getting worse. And I've seen that on K390, Crewwear, LC200N, seen that. But on Maximate, when I sharpened it the other day, I did a bunch of strops on it and the score just kept going down. Okay, so at 18 degrees per side, 1 micron strop, so 190. I wasn't expecting anything better than that. So there you go. You can see that it's definitely shiny. It's a shiny edge there, so you can see it kind of reflecting stuff. So that's what you would expect off of those Venevs. And now it's much more even and good looking. And it's very sharp. There you go. That's all I have. Have a good one. Bye.